Hello everyone, this is Timo from ProductiveSuperdad.com. Today I'm very excited to be talking with Steve Scott, and he is the guy behind a very popular internet marketing blog called stevescottsite.com. Now, Steve has been a very busy guy because not only is he running a very popular blog, but he has also published a couple of Amazon Kindle titles, and I believe that the latest one just came out just very recently. And he has also created a couple of iPhone apps, and also last year he published a great ebook called Affiliate Marketing Without BS, which is definitely something that I want you to check it out if you are into affiliate marketing. Now, the reason why I wanted to have a chat with Steve is basically because on his blog he has written quite a few articles related to productivity and time management. And basically that's the theme for this today's interview. So we are going to be talking about these same topics, but actually how to apply productivity and time management to your online business. So, hey Steve, nice to have you on this call.
Well, thanks for having me on, Timo.
Yeah, sure. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been a full-time online marketer since 2006, so about 6 years now. Primarily, I earn the majority of my income through affiliate marketing, which obviously Timo talked about. I pretty much got into the idea of having an online business like many people. I wanted personal freedom. I wanted the ability to pretty much do what I wanted to do with my life without having a boss or a place to go to. So I basically structure the business to where I can travel, spend time with loved ones, exercise just like Timo. I'd like to run marathons and basically kind of live life on my own terms. So it's kind of a natural meeting point between having an online business and living the kind of life that I want to live.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a lifestyle that many of us would like to live, and I know that there are lots of people who are listening and watching this interview, and they are having their day jobs, 9 to 5s, and they are trying to figure out a way out and escape from the cubicle. So it's really nice to be talking with someone who is actually living the dream lifestyle for so many of us. So it's great to have you here.
Thanks.
Yeah. So let's talk about online business, and let's actually dive into this interview. So first of all, there is this very common term in time management and productivity called the 80-20 rule. And anyone who is not aware of it, what does it mean? Well, basically it means that when you're focusing on a very uh, certain part of something, so you are getting most of the results by that way. So for example, you might have like let's say that you have 10 clients, but it seems that when you are only focusing on 20% of your clients, so you are getting 80% of the results or the sales, whatever. So that's in essence what the 80-20 rule means. And it would be very interesting to know when we apply this 80-20 rule to online business, what it means in practice. And I think that this kind of advice would have been great when I started out a couple of years ago. Obviously plans have changed now, but when I started my journey in this online world and online business world, so I was trying to do a lot of different stuff, and I wasn't really focusing on any certain things. But especially for those who are just starting out, and then if we apply the 80-20 rule, so do you think that there are any certain important tasks that a person should be focusing on, and any tasks that this same person should eliminate on his or her daily actions?
I would say break it down into two major areas. Primarily, you want to start by figuring out how you're making money. So you want to actually sit down and map out, am I going to make money through email lists? Am I going to make money through, if you're a blogger, through review pages? Am I going to make money? So for instance, like if you have a podcast or YouTube, am I making money through that? You want to actually figure out how you'll actually generate income. And then from there, you want to figure out how you're actually getting traffic to it. So basically, if you're making money on a blog, you want to figure out the best ways to get traffic, so to get eyeballs on the actual monetization that your monetization structure. So basically, I would say once a week or maybe once every other week, sit down and really figure out those two tasks. How am I making money and how am I getting traffic? And really, if you can figure out those two pieces of puzzle, that's pretty much the best way to spend 80/20 and to really figure out the best return on your time investment.
Yeah, that's a great advice. And actually, later in this interview, we are going to be talking about traffic, and also I'm also going to ask you about applying this 80/20 rule on
Okay.
that particular area, but we are going to talk about it later. But yeah, that's a great advice, and especially breaking things down to smaller pieces is also something very important, because many times there are lots of big things out there, and it's sometimes very overwhelming, or they seem to be very big and huge, and when you broke those things down, it's much easier to actually make progress. So that's a great advice. Um, Now, let me ask you something. Now, this is something which maybe is a little bit controversial topic in a way. Back in 2007, I guess it was back in 2007, Tim Ferriss came out with this book called 4 Hour Workweek, and I think that many people have lots of opinions about it. Some people are saying that it's impossible to have a 4 hour work week, while some others are saying that, yeah, I'm already living that kind of lifestyle. And what was very interesting in that book was that he talked about things like outsourcing and virtual assistants, which are very everyday thing for an online entrepreneur. But since you are actually living online full time, and you're actually earning your living full time by running an online business, so do you think that having a 4 hour work week, is it really possible, or is it just a fairy tale?
I don't want to say the word fairy tale, but I would say it's unlikely. Would be my best answer. I
Yeah.
actually do love the idea behind the 4 hour work week, and I've read it, I'd say at least 3 or 4 times. Applying it in real life with an online business, I would say it's very difficult, because like the main focus of an online business is content creation, or
Yeah.
at the very least testing and tracking your systems, or at least taking action. And I've actually, when I was traveling for 8 months through Europe back in 2010, the actual income I generate, I spent only 2 to 3 hours on it every week.
Oh.
So I think you can, to a certain extent, do it on a limited basis, but I would say as a long-term strategy, it's probably not a good idea, because eventually your business is going to start to decline, and you need to actually take action on it. I do think there is something to be learned from the 4 hour work week about outsourcing and
Mhm.
figuring out, like what we talked about, the 80/20, figuring out the best use of your time. So you can get down to a limited amount of work. Like, I don't think you have to work 40 hours a week. I don't think that's an absolute mandatory rule, but you definitely, in my opinion, have to put in some effort behind your business, and you have to continue that effort if you want to take things to the next level.
Yeah, and there is also something very important to remember, that especially in the beginning phases, when you are building the foundation
Definitely.
related to your online business, so 4 hour week is pretty much impossible to achieve. So most likely you are spending that 40 hours, or if you are working part time, so you may be working a couple of hours per night or during the morning time, so it's eventually going to take longer. But especially in the starting phase, there is quite a lot of work involved, and I also like what you said about the content creation, because it seems that it truly takes quite a lot of time.
Definitely.
For example, writing a single blog post, at least for me, it takes quite a lot of time, and,
Me
and
too.
uh, although I'm not a perfectionist, but I still want to produce as good content as possible. So maybe if you outsource even the content creation part, so then the 4 hour work week might work, but otherwise, it may work for some, but I think that you can count those persons, like only few persons are able to do it. So
Yeah.
But anyway, now if we talk about then a completely other topic, which is also related to productivity, and you and I, we both know that there are lots of tools out there, lots of productivity tools, which have a great purpose. Their aim is to help us to become more productive and automate stuff and make our lives easier. But um, do you think that there are certain set of tools, absolute must tools that every online entrepreneur should own and use on a daily basis?
Well, I kind of believe in simple minimalist solutions. I don't like anything that requires hours to figure out.
Yeah.
The main productivity tool that I use is just time block. Actually, there's a couple I use. The first would be time blocking. Every week I just have a list of about 70 to 80 tasks that I must take care of and must do.
Yeah.
And each one of these tasks is about 25 minutes long, which is based off of the Pomodoro technique where you work 25 minutes on and 5 minutes off, and you just keep on repeating that throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I basically use the weekly task sheet, the Pomodoro technique, and I also use a simple app that I think it's like $1.99 in the App Store called Task Pro. And basically I break down my projects, basic project management. So for instance, I have a section for future income, I have a section for content creation, I have a section for email communication and networking, and I have a section for my app business. So basically under each section I create tasks, step-by-step tasks. It's kind of based off of getting things done, where you figure you chunk everything down into the next step that you have to take, and so you're just constantly having forward momentum with your business. And every single day I'll go to each one of these individual tasks and I'll just sort them according to priority. And that's kind of why I like that Task Pro thing, is that you're able to basically reorder things without having to rewrite the whole list. But like I said at the beginning of this question, I believe in simple solutions. For the most part, I've gotten by for many years with just pen and paper and just writing things down and crossing it off. And honestly, I like the idea of having any sort of plan where you can cross things off, because you feel like you're accomplishing something. You feel like you're getting more momentum in your business. But I would say, as far as real fancy complex tools, I'm pretty much a one-man shop, so I don't really need like really heavy-duty project management software. And I do a few people I outsource and talk to, but I don't really need anything very fancy. That's just me.
I really like that approach, and sometimes even the most simplest tools are the best. So for example, like Timer is one of my favorite tools. It's very simple, very elegant, but it's unbelievable how well you are able to focus, for example, when you're writing content or doing that kind of stuff. So I also believe that simplest things are the best, and sometimes it's very easy to overwhelm yourself with tools and different features and trying to figure out how to do this and that, whereas like writing down a simple task list on a piece of paper might work even better. So the simple approach works the best, and I definitely agree with that. Now, when you are an online entrepreneur, there is one area that you cannot neglect, and that's basically social media. And do you have any certain type of strategy of dealing with social media? Because we have lots of different platforms out there, and you can basically waste your whole day of doing whatever on those platforms, on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and who knows what else is out there. And do you have any strategy that you are using so that you are actually able to take the most out of your time, and it's a very, very productive time when you are using those platforms? What is your opinion or advice on this one?
I would say a couple things. I would say, first off, you want to kind of get an idea of which social media activity generates the best results for your particular business. I know some people absolutely love Facebook, some people love Twitter, some people really get results with Pinterest, and then there's LinkedIn and et cetera, Google Plus. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
I think you'll go absolutely crazy if you try to do every single platform and be on there 24/7. You just won't get anything done. So I would say, first off, find your platform. And I really got a lot of results starting out with Twitter, and then for some dumb reason, I stopped using Twitter for a couple months, and I tried to use Facebook, and now I realize that Twitter's kind of what got me to where I'm going now. So I'm moving back and really becoming more active on Twitter. So anyway, so definitely find one social media thing that really seems to work for you, and then I would say really time block it. Like
Yeah.
dedicate a half hour in the morning or half hour at night to Twitter, or I'm sorry, to your social media activity, and really just focus on what you're doing at that time, and don't spend all day. Actually have, like you said, have a timer running, so you're not
Yeah.
likely to go down the rabbit hole and read 20 different tweets and blog posts and stuff. And part of it is you definitely want to automate the process. Like I use TweetAdder
Yeah.
to automatically do the following and unfollowing, and also use manageflitter.com as a way to also manage the people that aren't really following, the type of people I don't want following me, the people that are
Hmm.
um, haven't been on Twitter for 30 days, or have no profile picture, or tweet in a different language, stuff I can tell probably there would be a disconnect there.
Yeah.
Like I'll get definitely do some automation, but then at the same time write a single Facebook post or Twitter, whatever your platform is. Write one each day, something about your business or something that's going on in your life, something that will engage people. I see a lot of people have a lot of success just by asking simple questions that relate to the niche. And then from there, so you're asking one question, and just like find your couple of like people or Facebook pages or whatever the platform, find the people that you really resonate with and comment on them. But like the people that you're really building a relationship with, focus on those people first before anything else. But I guess overall to answer your question is really have an agenda for why you're going onto the social media, and then run a timer and make sure you're getting the important things first. And then if you have time left over, then you can goof off a little bit. Really just be structured about how you're running your social media activity.
Yeah, that's a great strategy, and yes, I'm actually limiting my social media time by using a timer, and yeah, I think that it all comes down to the fact that you really should be aware of, or you should learn more about your visitors and your customers, because you should know what's their primary platform and where are they hanging out. So try to
Yeah.
be there and try to be on front of their eyeballs. So that's definitely what you should be doing. Now you mentioned something about automation, and but at the same time, not actually trying to automate everything so that you are manually writing tweets and maybe doing some Facebook updates, which I think it's a great strategy, so that you are not seen as a spammer who is just trying to get a lot of followers, and there is actually a real human being on the background. And this actually leads to another question that I had, because it's very easy to automate every aspect of your, well, most of the aspects of your online business. So do you think that there are any certain parts which you really shouldn't automate and which should be done manually?
I would say probably the obvious answer would be content creation. I know the majority of online businesses have something to do with writing content or creating videos or podcasts.
Yeah.
I obviously think that that would be a terrible idea trying to outsource it.
Yeah.
I've seen it be done successfully with small niche sites, and I guess to a certain degree you can do it with that, but I'd say ultimately if you're trying to build an authority style brand through a blog or YouTube or podcasting or anything like that, you definitely want to be the person that's creating the content, because basically people are following you for what the information inside your head, not what someone else can come up with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely show your own voice through your writing or whatever type of content you are producing. So I also had very hard time of understanding for those people who are outsourcing the content writing. Of course, like if there is a small niche site, so in that case it might work, but otherwise. It would be really, I mean, I would find it very risky to outsource for example, my blog writing, even
Yeah.
though it is taking majority of my time, but still it's something that I feel that I have to do it myself. And that way I'm being authentic, and I'm really trying to show other people my expertise, and be true to my audience. So it's very very great that you brought that point up, so that you should be creating your own content, and it's not perhaps not wise to outsource it, even though there are lots of content writers out there who can create blog posts and whatever for a couple of bucks, but it's definitely not worth it. So you should do at least that much by yourself. So write the content yourself. Now, now we're actually getting back to the traffic part, and this is something that I referred to in the beginning when we talked about the 80-20 rule. And I know that you have been testing with different traffic sources, and you have been writing about those tests on your blog. And right now, if we take this 80-20 rule, first of all, is there any certain traffic source that is working very well right now? What is bringing you most of the visitors, and at the same time, is that very same traffic source converting as well? And what is your approach to this traffic source and finding the ultimate traffic source for yourself?
I would say to start off, install Google Analytics or any sort of analytics software so you can actually see where you're getting traffic from. And I think that's mandatory for every single website. And pretty much when I first started my blog, I kind of did everything. I did SEO, blog commenting, guest posting. I tried my hand at YouTube videos. Like I tried just a bunch of different things.
Yeah, just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes you have to throw stuff against the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
And what I noticed is, I would say about 4 or 5 months back, I actually was a victim of the Google Penguin update, so I lost a lot of my SEO traffic. And for a day or so, I was really, really upset, saying, "Oh man, I lost half my traffic. This is the end of the world." But then when I sat down and looked at my SEO traffic, I realized that these people, especially SEO visitors, they would come to my site, they would leave almost immediately. They wouldn't really read my content. They'd spend maybe 50 seconds on my page, and they would just bounce away, and they really wouldn't subscribe. But what I did notice is when individual websites link to me, the ones that I've connected to, like for instance Utimo, like people I've actually established some sort of networking relationship with,
Yeah.
whenever they send over traffic, these people were staying on 5, 6, 7 minutes, and they were subscribing, they were taking action, and they seemed to be engaged in my regular content. So to answer your question, I would say you want to focus on anything where you can get other people to refer your website. The most specific one of this would be guest posting. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about guest posting, but I found that that absolutely is the number one traffic source for me, and I wish I had a lot more time to do it, and I'm going to try making a concerted effort next month or two to do more guest posts. But I found anytime someone mentions your website on their blog or their website, those are the visitors that are the most targeted and the best, and probably will find the most use of your content. So I would say if you have to do anything for traffic, it's just make those relationships and then start getting more guest posts out there.
Yeah, exactly. And the testing part is very important. Also, what you said, that you should just test different sources and trying to then see what works the best, and then just get rid of those other sources which are not bringing so good results. But yeah, only a certain set of sources seems to be working, and like you were talking about guest posting, so that's basically my primary source of traffic, and in fact I'm actually looking at my email subscriber number, so it seems to be working quite well, and it seems that with the heavy guest posting what I have been doing lately, it starts to pay off, and the subscriber numbers are actually growing all the time. So it's always great to see that I'm getting good results by using that type of technique. Now let's talk about something a little bit different, and this is not related to traffic or any other thing like that. Maybe this is more like a mindset stuff or something like that. And what I'm actually talking about is habits. and especially productivity habits, because we all know that habits are something very, very important when it comes to your success, and they basically define your success or your failure. And but if we focus on the positive sides of habits and positive habits, and especially those productive habits, so do you think that especially when it comes to an online entrepreneur, do you think that there are certain good habits that every online entrepreneur should be implementing in their daily lives?
I would say go back to what we were talking about before. I would say you want to definitely put a timer on everything that you do. You want to understand how you're spending your time and what you're doing, what results you're getting.
Yeah.
Just like I was saying before, you also want to create projects based off of the individual parts of your business. So you want to figure out like the next step you have to take to get you to the desired outcome. So you definitely want to create project lists for that. And I would say another habit would just create a daily checklist. I know that there's some things that are based off a project, but there's some just day in, day out things, just like as simple as check my Facebook or Twitter account. So actually what a third sheet that I always print out every week is I have a list of every single day of the week, what I should be doing. Those are just the routine tasks that I just want to make sure that I'm continuing to do these on a repetitive basis because I know that they drive my business forward. So I would say just bottom line is you really want to like measure and write down everything that you need to do and just get in the habit of actually just accomplishing those things and
Yeah.
in a way just take the guesswork out of your business. Don't sit and open up your laptop wondering what do I do first. It's you have all these sheets and checklists and you just run down the list and you almost run it like kind of an operations manual like McDonald's, which you just know what you're supposed to do and you just go out and do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's really great advice. And I just realized that if there is one book to get when it comes to habits, I would suggest that I don't know if you have read it, but the book is called The Power of Habit, written by Charles Duhigg. Unfortunately, I'm unable to pronounce the last name, but anyway, I'm including the link to that book on Amazon on the show notes. But it's a great book on habits and especially how the habits are formed. And what I really love about that book is that you can also take certain key lessons from there and then apply it to your online business, so that you can actually create those success habits and productivity habits and the ones that you just mentioned about. A quick book recommendation here. So anyway, I know that majority of people are building their online businesses on the side, and I'm not an exception. I mean, I have a day job, and then I'm building my online business on the side, and it's not making any money like so many other businesses out there. Especially in the beginning, you just have to have a good goal and keep working every day and put the hours in, so to speak. But especially when you are working full time and then you're building your business part time. Let's say that you have, like, I believe that most of the people might have like 1 or 2 hours per day to spend on their online businesses. So what are the 3 different areas, the most important areas that this kind of a person should be focusing on when building his blog or online business?
Actually, could I give you 4?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I would say first off, again, when I answer the first question, you want to sit down and figure out exactly how you're making money. Before you do anything else, you want to figure out your monetization strategy. So if you're making money through review pages and stuff on your blog, then that's your monetization strategy. So, yeah. Or if you're making money through email marketing, that's your monetization strategy. So the first thing you want to do before anything is clarify absolutely how you're generating income. And then the next step that I would recommend is you want to create one really good, and actually this is the exact strategy I'm implementing right now, so I'm trying to put this into practice. You want to create one exceptional blog post once a week. I don't think you need to do 2 to 3 blog posts like some people recommend, as long as you're creating something really highly valuable, and I would say like really, I can't emphasize this enough, really sit down and make this a really impressive piece. And then third, I would also try to do one guest post per week at the very minimum. Like you want to get the word out there. You want to establish those connections. You want to kind of legally steal other people's audiences and have them come check out your website. And once they're back on your website, they see all these really great articles that are sitting there, and they realize that you're someone who knows a lot about a particular niche and can provide a lot of content. And I would say number four is just network. Try to talk to as many people as possible. Use social media. Don't try to blast a bunch of people. Instead, try to actually establish relationships with individual people and help them out first. And then ultimately, the more people you help out first, the more there will be willing to help you out. And that's happened to me all the time. I've had people that help me out just because I helped them out first. And I try to return the favor to other people who are just getting started online as well. So I would say, just to recap, just target how you're making money, write one really good guest post per week, write at least one good, write one good post on your site, write one good guest post, and then network as much as you can. And I would say for an hour, 2 hours each day, that's the best way to spend your time.
Yeah, that's really brilliant stuff, and anyone who is actually thinking about how to find time for the online businesses. So, I'm just sharing what works for me, and I know that this probably doesn't work for someone else, but my way of doing things to make sure that I have the time for my online business, because I have a day job and I have a family, and I have other hobbies, so my days are very busy, so I try to work early in the morning. I wake up around 5 a.m. So the only thing that makes me wake up is that I know that someday I'm able to start earning income through my blog and my online business, and it's a great motivator. And I think that when you also have some type of a motivation on the background, a very exciting reason to build your blog and do that stuff, so you will find the time, and you will also find those core points, focus points to actually focus on those essential things. Yeah, I think that what you just mentioned is really great advice, and focusing only on those things is really the best strategy, and not try to be everywhere and try to do everything at once, because it's not working. So, but anyway, we have actually made it so far that it's going to be the last question that I'm going to ask you next. So time really flies, and what I want you to tell to me and my audience next is that if there is one single productivity tip that you would like my audience to implement as soon as this interview ends, what would be that tip? That's one actionable tip.
One tip, okay. I would say get out. I would say ultimately it comes down to really knowing your outcomes. So I would say get out a pad of paper and a pen and just start writing down everything that you want to achieve with your online business.
Yeah.
Just map out your long-term goals as far as financial and what you're doing to try to achieve it. I would say the more you start writing stuff down, the easier it is to clarify how you can get there. So I would just say write stuff down, and just basically from there start creating projects based off of those desired outcomes. So you create projects, and just like I said before, just like sort up and down, figure out the next steps you have to take, and along the way you're going to encounter obstacles. Just keep on testing different things and tracking different things. Just keep on, as soon as you see something that actually gets results, you keep on doing more of that, and if see stuff doesn't work, just eliminate it. So I'd say ultimately, like, a pad of paper and a pen could be your best friend when it comes to figuring out what you want, and just keep on mapping stuff out and trying different things.
Yeah, and really, it's really all about knowing your why. Really, why are you doing what you are doing? So without, yeah, I mean, if you do not know the answer to that question, so it can be very hard to take action, no matter how great traffic technique there is, or how great possibility there is out there to make money. So without knowing your true why and the true reason, it becomes almost impossible to keep on working on your business on a daily basis. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. um, Hey Steve, it has been a great interview, and I think that you have shared quite a lot of advice. And like I said, that it's always great to hear this advice from someone who is actually living or earning his living through online business, and actually making good living through his online business. So it was really nice to have you on this call.
Well, thanks for having me, Timo. It's been enjoyable.
Sure, sure. Okay. Anyway, thanks for the interview, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thanks.